I want to do a kind of close the loop on a story we've been covering, which is this U.S. trucker convoy. Now, you might be saying, David, the trucker convoy, wasn't that like months ago in Canada? Or did the U.S. convoy even actually get started? And you would be right to be confused because they accomplished absolutely nothing. They got almost no attention. They were protesting non existent mandates, and it is now coming to a close. I have to tell you, I love this. I take so much pleasure in this. Good Daily Beast report. People's Convoy gives up and will leave DC after 3 weeks of doing absolutely nothing. Our friend Zachary Patrizio wrote this for the Daily Beast. And he explains 3 weeks after the so-called People's Convoy landed in Washington, D.C., the group is calling it quits after accomplishing nothing except injuring residents and circling the Beltway. Co-organizer Mike Landis announced Sunday night that the group would pack its things up in the coming days and drive back to California. Landis said the convoy goers who remain in Hagerstown, Maryland, who had freezing nights while camping out, will enjoy a southerly route back to California. We're going to take a little more southern route, so it's a little warmer than this. This is absolutely fantastic. Now, a lot of you are probably reacting by saying, I didn't even know that they were still there. And indeed, they did nothing. Now, there's two parts to this. The first part is, even when the Canadian trucker convoy got going, they were mostly protesting non-existent mandates. And since then, even more vaccine requirements have been dropped. Now, in the United States, the U.S. trucker convoy is quite literally protesting for freedom that they have. I mean, there's almost no vaccine requirements remaining for people who are within the United States. If their own company requires them to be vaccinated or tested, that's their company policy. The Supreme Court already said that Joe Biden forcing companies with over 100 employees to require vaccination or testing had to be halted. So at its core, this was a movement about something that is not actually a problem. But the second part of this that I find just particularly funny is these are people who were, I don't want to call it rallying. They were basically driving around, framing themselves as the victims of government tyranny. And as their convoy started to come east from the West Coast, Russia invades Ukraine. Civilians are being killed. It's a complete violation of the sovereignty of Ukrainian borders, et cetera, et cetera. And these truckers are trying to say they're the ones that are being victimized by tyranny. Like, it's what's happening in Ukraine is absolutely horrifying. Just one of the most horrible things that's happened in the last couple of years. But there's some hilarious irony to the fact that when there are real victims of government authoritarianism, I'm talking about Ukrainian victims of Putin's authoritarianism and belligerence, you've got truckers who are like, I don't want to get vaccinated. I don't want to get vaccinated. The big headlines from the trucker convoy, about a week ago, someone on a bicycle got in front of the convoy and almost shut the entire thing down. They didn't even know how to get around the biker. And it barely got any attention. They accomplished nothing. And the entire reason for being was bogus, given the reduction in all sorts of different mask, vaccine, and testing requirements in the United States. Let's hope that we're closing the book on this pathetic excuse for activism that is actually just a waste of everyone's time and particularly inconvenient to people who are just trying to get to work and earn a living.